Miami, 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 Miami. It feels like Miami.
Welcome to Miami Heat Beat Postgame Show. I'm your host, Giancarlo Navas, and with me today, coming back on a back-to-back, just like Miami, we got Kay. What's up, Kay?
What's up, man? Norm Powell almost killed me. Kobe White through the dirt. We here, though.
We got a lot to say. Coming back in his return, Ozempic, Saucy Takes, Coach Lou. You're looking good. What's going on there? You haven't been gone that long.
No, it's been probably about like a month. I'm back though. We've been in the lab, but we're back, man. We've been progressing, unlike the Heat. I'm just trying to be their entire opposite. I want to be the complete antithesis of this goddamn team. They irk me.
Hey, that's a win though. I need to see that sign lit up.
Oh,
That's a win. Tradition has it. The Saucy Takes, the blurry Saucy Takes.
What does that say?
It says Saucy Takes. It's his Twitter name.
Right on cue. What does that say?
What does
There
it
you
say?
go. There you go.
It's a mystery for the audience. Also joining us, welcome back to the program, my friend, covering the Bulls for cash considerations and with clutch points, Jason Patt at Bulls J on Twitter. What's up, Jason?
So another thrilling Bulls Heat game. Usually I'm here for the play-in tournament. We'll probably be back later, but
Oh no, you'll be back. You will be back.
Stay tuned.
First, we got a great 3-game set in the middle of the season because the United Center melted a couple weeks ago, and we got to play this makeup game and ruin everybody's schedule. So that's fun.
I mean, I on a back-to-back, the 3 games, it's just too much Heat Bulls. I don't know. Nobody's watching except for us, and even us. I mean, I'm barely awake until the fourth quarter.
It's a series, man. It's a series.
I'm fighting for our lives. Want to give a shout out to our donors on Twitch and YouTube, and specifically CM201 with the super chat. Appreciate and love that. And as we know, our Australian homie always gives us the best show sheet to start the show. And he says, Hymus still 6th man of the year. Bam still aggressive. We can actually throw lobs. Shaky fourth quarter. Ware impactful in minutes and could have played more. Pelle a winner. Norm rough finish to game. Drew Smith impactful. Second half woes continue. I noticed that every day he says that Norm needs rest. I guess Norm doesn't need rest today because he always says that. And I always say, that's the show sheet. He always nails it. He always nails my show sheet. We have some of that and more. But we got to start with kind of the ending of that game because it was absolutely fucking frantic. Jason, I want to start with Dosunmu because that game, Chicago cut it to 6 in that fourth quarter, and Pelle Larrson hit a really nice 3-pointer off a relocation, off a catch and shoot. I was like, the fact that he has that in his game is just so huge. And I think, okay, that's the dagger. That's the finishing blow. That's usually home team always makes a run. We know that. And not Chicago, fucking Dosunmu off the offensive rebound, off of slashing, off of broken plays. Jason, he brought them from the depths. Miami had a couple gifts in the form of weird turnovers and stuff, but he brought them all the way back within striking distance and could have won the game.
Yeah, I mean, the Bulls have done this just like all year. They're 23-25. They should not be. They're worse than that, but they've won all these crazy games. And the 3 you mentioned by Larson, it was 109, I think 100, and then they made it 110, 100 with 3-4 minutes left. I'm like, yeah, I mean, the Bulls look cooked. But then, Norm starts throwing the ball everywhere. I don't know what he was doing out there. And then Io scores, I think it was 7 straight points in a variety of ways. And Io's been great all season. Just as whether he's starting, whether he's a 6th man. I know today he came off the bench, but then Jalen Smith got hurt, calf injury, and he started the second half, played a ton in the second half. And I believe he ended up having 15 fourth quarter points, which I believe is like his highest scoring quarter of the season, or maybe even his career. But Io's had a great season. and he played hard all game. He had just a huge game, not just the fourth quarter, but fourth quarter was obviously great. Again, doing it in all ways. And then he almost stole the game there again at the very end when after the Heat stole the ball from Kobe. Kobe had a really rough night and he had missed the game tying shot, but I can't remember who got that steal. That might have been Larsson too, who poked the ball away from Kobe under the basket.
Yeah.
Yes,
So he made a bunch of big plays, including the Heat's last basket too. But and then the Heat were just going to try to wind the clock down, and Io picks Norm's pocket. There was some controversy about
that was so frustrating.
Yeah, because I mean that would have taken it down to, even if he misses, like 4 or 5 seconds, and the Heat are up 3, and Norm was just so sloppy down the stretch. That was really pretty rough game for him too. It wasn't very efficient. The decision making, especially in that fourth quarter, was weird. But so yeah, I mean, and once the Bulls start making those comebacks, like they've won so many games like this, I'm like, oh my god, they're gonna pull this out of their butt again, get back to 500 again. But Norm did make the 2 free throws, and then Larsson got that basket where I think Okoro was like holding on for dear life, and then he just fell down. And
what happened there? I watched back and I was like, how did he fall?
I don't know. Like Larsson might have were able to disengage, but Okoro was just trying to hang on, and he fell over. And then at first I was like, oh, why didn't he just dribble to the other side of the court and run the clock out? But you got a basket right under the basket like that, you take it. I think Aya would have been able to chase him down and follow him. So I totally understand taking the easy basket there. And Billy did drop a really good look at 3, and Kobe had a really rough night, bricked it badly, Heat win. And I do kind of think, just to take it real quick, Kobe thought that that might be his last game at the United Center, because the Bulls have Miami, 1 in Milwaukee before the deadline, and there's been a lot of smoke about Kobe trades and Io too. I mean, it's been Kobe and Io is kind of the hot trade talk. So that might be Kobe's last shot at the United Center, and that would be a bummer if it was, but he had a bad game. He's had a few rough games. I had a weird season for him, and just with where the Bulls are at, I could see them trading him. But yeah, ultimately it was a crazy game. Just another great Bulls Heat game.
Battle of mid.
Yeah, the battle of mid that we have every year for the last, this is going on 4 years now, and we're hightailing it towards another play-in battle of mid again. And again, now we got 3 games in the middle of the season here to enjoy as well.
We're gonna do this dance until the end of time.
It's just a little preview.
It's just
how are the Heat gonna do this year? How are the Bulls gonna do?
we will mirror each other.
It's a fair question.
Do I even care at this point? I don't know.
I want for the bit. I need them to play again. For the bit. It would just be so funny if it's Miami, Atlanta. I don't even care if it's even funnier if Giannis comes and they still do it.
Yeah, that would be hilarious.
That wouldn't be funny at all, actually.
I actually think that would be funny. Chat says God no.
that would be awful.
That'd be funny. Lou, I want to give you a chance here because I thought down the stretch, and we're going to talk about a few things down the stretch, but I thought down the stretch, Pelle Larsson made almost every important play for Miami, and that's been your guy. And you haven't been on in a while. This season for him, I think he's established. Lou, I think he's going to be, at some point, he's going to win somebody a championship. He's going to be a high-level role player for somebody. He's going to swing a series. He's going to swing a game in the finals or something. I think he's that good. I think he's that smart. He does all the little things, defends like hell, can shoot the ball, can move, has a good attitude. I've seen Alex Caruso and KCP swing teams from we're almost there to where they're. I think Pelle Larsson could be that guy. And he's just been sensational. And again, down the stretch, Lou, all these important plays on both ends, right? As Jason brought up, he gets a steal here, the turnover, the awareness to score there, the 3-point shot. I mean, he is sensational.
He's been nothing short of sensational. I think the Heat's record without him in the starting lineup is abysmal, and with reason. Just when you describe a glue guy, you just put up a picture of Pelle Larsson. He does whatever the team needs without having to hijack anything, whether it's an offensive scheme or a defensive scheme. You just put him in the game. You tell him, hey, today you're going to need a spot up. He will spot up and he'll grab offensive rebounds, play defense. Today we saw him play defense down the stretch, had finished the game with 6 rebounds, hit a 3, which has been the most important part of his game progressing, because when he was coming out of Arizona, I loved the entirety of his game. It was just a 3-point volume that was a concern. So he's actually getting some more shots up, just making it respectable. You see how physical he is. You see he gets under so many people's skin. Today, that wasn't really the case, because I guess, it was like no offense, it was the Bulls. Like it was a snooze fest game for most of it. It was so boring.
It was
I'm
through
sorry.
three
He
quarters.
was still Pelle though. He still,
No,
nudged
yeah,
guys,
he
guys.
was still, he was still doing his
Did he get hit
thing.
in the face today?
Oh yeah, like 3 times.
But it wasn't
Kobe-
as
No,
flagrant.
yeah. Today was a calm day for Pelle Larsson's roster, I guess. But he's I know you said like Caruso, like I think he's what the Heat wanted Caleb Martin to ultimately continue to be. Like he's that. He's just been doing everything he needs. He's scoring more than ever. Like, I don't care who comes back. He needs to play and he needs to be in the starting lineup because he makes it work.
He's closing for them. I mean, he's closing a lot for them. Hyman's closing for them, and I appreciate the fact that they're playing these younger guys to close games. To close games, and again, like they're getting rewarded with. I mean, Jaquez. Bam missed the layup at the end, but I mean, Jaquez was a pick and roll trigger man at the end there for Miami's kind of last real offensive possession, and again, Pelle spacing and moving and doing all the things. So,
yeah,
I have no more superlatives for him. I think he's been just kind of everything that they've looked for in a role guy for years. I wish he was a little bigger. He's kind of like a small wing to big guard.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just love him. Okay, kind of another thing I want to talk about in that game is Miami. The interesting thing to me was when rubber hit the road again for the second game in a row. Miami needed a basket. They run a ball screen, right? Previous night against Orlando, they were running Norm off a screen in the corner into a flow into Bam DHO. They ran that like 3 times in a row against the Magic. And again, this team got pretty famous this season for not having ball screens. And then again, tonight, another game, the most important offensive possession, Bam comes to set the screen for Jaquez, not for Powell, which again, that to me is also interesting because Eric Spoelstra teams always have, there's a designated guy to pick and roll handle. Going back to Dwayne Wade, LeBron, to even fucking Dion Waiters. It doesn't matter who has a hot hand. They always have their designated end of guy ball handler. And Tyler's not here right now. And even though Norm has been their best perimeter player this season, it was Jaquez, which I thought was another interesting thing because Jaquez was having a much better game than Norman Powell, but that really stuck out to me.
There's so much there, man. Not even just that last possession, but as we talked about on last night's show, as the game got down and the Bulls started to close what seemed like a double-digit gap for the most of the end of the third, early fourth, you saw more possessions with just screening actions, whether it's a pure pick and roll, whether it's a rejection, whether it's a phantom screen, whether it's just a guy, faking and then actually roll. You saw more of that action as the game progressed. So as we said about Spo, once, the rubber meets the road and things come down to it, he's going to that more to try to get his shot makers or his playmakers a more optimal look. I take it back, and Jay mentioned something with that last possession, and I take it back to that in talking about pick and rolls. Know your personnel. You would think, and that's what Norm does. He not purely rejects the screen, but goes the opposite way on the screen, trying to be too tricky dick. And what he did was he crossed over right in front of, anybody but don't do him like that. Anybody on the floor but him. You take the screen when that dude is in front of you. And that's not just a tonight thing, like that high energy. I want to get all up in you. I'm going to make it hectic, make you uncomfortable. That's his game. So you got to know your personnel there. Even, just to your point of their screen usage. So, I mean, when it comes down to it, we're going to see this team do what they do. And that's that DHO action. That's that screen action. That's that let's get 2 guys involved so we can create a mismatch in order for one of the guys to be forceful. And you mentioned it. Jaime's a trigger guy. We've been saying it all year long, all season long. He's their secondary trigger guy. Yeah, you mentioned Tyler, but hell, he hasn't played but 4 games. So,
where is he?
I mean, exactly. In Milwaukee somewhere, outside of Pfizer, taking pictures. But that's neither here nor there. Like, basically, love you, Tyler. But basically, I don't hate the guy. It's just he could be there more.
I just don't.
But
Just
I
want
don't
to
know.
well, that's fair too. That's fair too.
I know that's how Jason feels about Patrick Williams. My goodness.
Oh my God, we can get to him because
that guy is the worst.
He was cooking him.
He dribbled he tried dribbling like 4 or 5 times, then I'm pretty sure he lost the ball every single time.
Oh yeah, and then looked at the ref like they did something wrong.
He's so bad. He's good thing he's making like $18 million.
They didn't want to
each of
trade
the next
him.
3 years.
Do you remember when they did not want to trade him?
Oh yeah, sure do.
I'd rather not talk about Patrick. 80 million? Is it 80 over 5?
It was
no, it's
590,
90, 90 over 5.
18,
and it's
18 million a season.
Okay.
Yeah.
Real bad.
Yeah.
Real
Oh,
bad.
I know it's a whole lot of wasted money. I knew that. I just wanted to get the numbers specific.
Yes.
I know Jason is hiding it, but you see to the right of him right there, he has a calendar counting down the days until his contract expires. He has to, bro. Watching that, I felt we've had it bad with Nico this year as somebody who loves him, but my goodness, that dude was awful today.
He's easily one of the worst rotation players in the league. Like, I don't want him to play anymore. Like, I know the Bulls have had a few guys hurt today with Giddey out, with Trey Jones out.
Yeah.
I'd rather play Dalen Terry and Julian Phillips got some minutes today, and like at least they like show a pulse sometimes. Like, Pat just he puts the ball in the court and he just dribbles it off his leg almost every time. Like, I don't want him to watch him play anymore. Like, to play those other guys aren't that good either. But like Dalen Terry actually was okay today. He had a couple threes. At least again, shows a pulse, brings some energy. So like, yeah, he's just a bummer at this point.
Patrick Williams had more turnovers than he did any other stat combined.
Yeah, he was like 0 for 4 from the field. Did he take 4 shots?
He took 4 shots. 0 for 4.
3
1 rebound.
Yeah.
Hey, one of those shots was the end of a shot clock, and E. Reed was like, "You'd rather have no other guy in that moment trying to rush a shot than Patrick." I'm like, "Yo." I'm like, chill on him, bro.
Yikes.
Jason, the other day, Bouye was on the court. Bouye used to be a kind of a fringe guy for the Heat. And then Eric Reed said, that man has been waived 7 times by 7 different. And I was like,
he be cooking, bro.
Harsh.
I love when broadcasters get that way.
Because he's so like he does this so well. He reads a legend.
He's also like one of the nicest guys.
Yeah,
in the world.
That's why. Because he's so nice.
Jason,
he be saying it nicely, bro. He says it so eloquently. You're like, is he insulting him?
If you're like a fan in like another city, you can like tweet him and be like, "Hi, Eric, can I come say hi before the game?" And he'll go say hi, ask you about your family, take pictures. He came on my college radio show. I was like 18 years old, and Eric Reed like came on to talk to like this big-eyed kid. He's just such a nice guy, but it's so funny when he just starts like,
he just doesn't like Blake Griffin, especially when he was in the Nets.
And he apologized for that.
He loves Buddy Hield though.
He does.
For some strange reason, he loves Buddy Hield.
He probably loves Dosunmu. He kills us every time, man.
Yeah.
Doesn't fail.
Dosunmu was just sensational. Vucevic had a really slow first half.
Yeah.
Second half kind of really came alive. And I thought one of the things that kind of helped him come alive was Miami switching. And I think I saw Marco on Twitter with 5 reasons I had tweeted out. I go, Miami's switching a lot lately, and I don't hate it. It's just something I've noticed. And Marco goes, they're getting ready for the Giannis defense. And I'm like, I maybe like they and Jason, they have been very conservative about doing that. And I think a big reason why is they're very scared of their rebounding lately, because it's been so it's just been so it just oscillates between this is untenable to okay, we can survive. And I think one of the ways that they've tried to kind of reel that in a bit is, okay, we're going to switch less. We're going to make sure that our bigs are close to the basket. We're not going to leave, they do have small guards right now. We're not going to leave Norman Powell and Pelle Larsson fighting, wings for rebounds. But they're tonight. I mean, they were flying. One of those late possessions. I mean, you saw the effects where, they're switching a ton and Wiggins ends up on Vucevic. And I thought Chicago ran a great action because they made sure on the second action from that initial pick and roll that Vucevic kind of rolled into a post up and Chicago knew to get at him and he scored. But Vuce finished with 15 and 10, 6 for 18, so 33%. Not efficient shooting, but again, a lot of the good shooting came in the second half. And I just thought it was of note that Miami switching more, Bam too, and I think, Jason, you talked about, Kobe White having a tough game. I think a part of that was Bam switching on to him, and all of a sudden Kobe White's met with, and again, they don't have Davion Mitchell right now, and they're a little short, they're a little short-handed with their defensive guards, but certainly, Jason, I thought it was of note.
Yeah, it was Davion shut Kobe down in the playing game, just totally shut off his
Yeah.
water. So not having him definitely a factor there. Yeah, I mean, Vooch, I feel like missed a ton of bunnies, and there was one point on the Bulls broadcast where they missed him probably even more, just like to get him the ball against the smaller guards and the mismatches. But they showed Vooch like standing up, like yelling, like I think trying to draw stuff up, like
Yeah.
get me the ball. Like I got all these, they're switching on me, and I got these small guys, but. 6 of 18, obviously not good. You got to finish better. He missed a decent amount of good looks. So he did get plenty of opportunities. And like Vooch has been mostly like very good this year. Like I am absolutely sick of Vucevic on the Bulls, but like I can't deny that like for like a 35-year-old dude now, like
He's 35.
Yeah, 30, 34, 35, whatever he is. Like,
no, he's
like
2
years ago, I thought he was like totally washed. And like obviously he's washed defensively, but like it seemed like his offense was like totally cooked. But like the last couple of years, it's been like a revelation. His efficiency has been great. Obviously not tonight. So like he has been pretty good. But yeah, 6 of 18 tonight. And yeah, he had opportunities against these switches. He clearly wanted more. And they did get him that he did get that finish there down the stretch where they got that switch and he attacked it and scored right away. So yeah, definitely was notable. And Vooch, if he finishes a few more shots, the Bulls probably win that game.
Have a different conversation.
But
to your point, though,
he did not.
He had been asking for that, like asking for the ball in that lower position all night long. They kept getting him the ball in those weird middle positions, whether that be like a step under the 3-point line, the short corner, on high on the block. When he had those mismatch opportunities all game, they just weren't getting.
I didn't think Miami was sharp on their fronting, Kay, because I think like when you do that and they're more experienced. I mean, I think a lot of these guards are newer to what they do, but always if Miami knows if Bam's switching this pick and roll, and ahead of time, right? So coach's meeting is like, okay, well, we're gonna switch to Kobe, Vooch pick and roll. Bam, you're switching that. That if whoever's guard, if it's Norm guarding Kobe, that once you do that, you front and guy on the strong side, you come help, right? Or you come early, or you come late, or guy at the nail, you come on the spin in, like you have your built-in stuff. Yeah. And that did not feel sharp today. And I know Vucevic didn't score, didn't have the efficiency night, but as Jason said, he did miss a lot of makeable ones. And it was just, they didn't look sharp. And I do think that if they have aspirations for more, that has to be something in their game that is boom, boom, boom. They got to be good at that because they don't have the size right now. And if they have Giannis, they will be switching more. And I don't know how much we should or shouldn't speculate on Giannis, but they will have a small backcourt. That part's inevitable. And that's going to be their weakness. And they're going to have to kind of figure out how they're going to deal with stuff like that. So Lou, that was to me something that made my ears perk up, and certainly something I'm not turbo concerned about, but it's on my radar.
Yeah. I mean, just in general, like the switching has always brought this, and like, let's be honest here. For as long as Vucevic has been in the league, which is about a quarter century at this point, he's killed us.
It's the only time that Bam's won the matchup. I swear to God.
He just has it out for us. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's personal, maybe it isn't, but he typically has a very good game. He was due to get some misses. Thank you, Vucevic, for missing today. A couple of shots. Just know Saturday that's not gonna happen.
Yeah, they went through the history, man, how he traditionally 2020s, 2029. But they also did it on the other side. How Bam loves it when he sees Vucevic in front of him because he's about to kill him, or at least he's going to try with the foot speed. So, I mean, it was fair on both sides, all facts.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's Vucevic against the Heat averages 18, 11, and 3 assists. He has played 48 games against Miami in his career.
That's an all-NBA season against us.
That's an all. That's a
48.
That's a Carlos Boozer season.
Yeah, it is.
I'm glad he went to the Bulls because when he was with Orlando, I mean, it was worse.
That's prime Carlos Boozer right there.
Leaving foot at the door.
And I'm sure that that he has a couple games lowering that average because I swear to God, it's felt like 25.
No, for sure. When he started out, it was probably
probably
not as much minutes, and then
the young buck.
And then now he's obviously a little bit older, but or
Orlando boosts like everybody else that plays for Orlando just decides they're gonna have all world games when they. I think I saw. By the way, not to go back to last night, but I think I saw a stat from Coop. He was like the Magic are shooting 33% from 3 versus everybody else in the league. They're shooting 40% versus Miami from 3. But that's
interesting because Miami's actually a good 3-point defense.
Yeah, but
Jason, so the Orlando Magic have been the Heat boogeyman for the last decade?
I remember when we had LeBron.
Since LeBron left.
We lost to with LeBron here. We lost to them, and it was just they were the worst team in the league at that point, and we still couldn't beat them.
Dude,
We're going down to buzzer beaters.
It doesn't matter who's there. It just
Damn.
Terrence Ross. I'm still scared of Terrence Ross.
Terrence Ross.
Oh man, oh my God.
Throwback. Love it.
No, dude, the actual Heat killer is Marcus Thornton. Marcus Thornton. Prime Marcus Thornton was a problem for Miami. Let me tell you something.
Dosunmu's up there.
But I think Dosunmu's good. Marcus Thornton isn't like.
Okay. Fair enough.
I feel Dosunmu's like a level above Marcus Thornton.
Yeah. That's
Bro,
very
he's like a
fair.
general player. Actually, I do remember like a couple years ago, Io had like a game where he shot like 9 of 10 from the field, like in Miami, and beat them.
Yeah.
You're
I
not
didn't
the
forget.
right.
And the reason it's worse with him because he's such a heaty player. Not to step on your toes, but he's such a heat type guy. You look at him and be like, oh, that's the stuff these guys should be doing.
Yep.
The other thing defensively I wanted to talk about, and I don't know if you guys caught this, they're playing more zone with Bam on the floor, and that's typically not been something that they do. And they usually do it with Ware, or as of late when Nico's been the backup 5. Now Ware's back. Ware played more than 8 minutes. He played 12
minutes.
I
wasn't asking. What is the deal with him? Is he just hurt? I don't know
if Spo hates him or not.
I know
the jury's
said
out.
some stuff about him.
Yeah.
Look, the deal is the following, right, Jason? From somebody, I mean, G can attest to this. I don't know if Kay was heard the show at the time, but Kello Ware was never a Heat guy, and they tried to build him to be a Heat guy. And now the situation is Spo doesn't really like him because his motor and his defense isn't where it's supposed to be. But there's no denying offensively he is very, very skilled.
Yeah, his 3-point shot looked great today. Like
it was amazing. It was amazing. However, Vucevic made 6 shots. 3 of them were on Ware in the 4 minutes of the third quarter. It comes and it goes. Still, I think it's ridiculous. He's only getting 12 minutes. As much as I personally am not a fan of his, we have nothing else going for us. Just play the guy. Like, it doesn't matter.
A nice Jonathan Kuminga situation going.
Like,
I don't want it. I'd rather have Ware.
Whoa.
I don't know about that.
Don't you do that. Don't you do that to us.
Jason, you know what's a crazy thing about Ware? Jimmy tried to fight Spo, and Spo always defended Jimmy.
Yeah.
And for some reason, Spo has the most out-of-pocket post-game comments about Ware. I've never seen him do that. They had us on Whiteside. They've had worse. I don't know where this is coming from.
That's why I said the Kuminga thing. Steve Kerr hates Jonathan Kuminga. Eric Spoelstra hates Kuminga.
100% despises
But
him.
it's different though. I think Steve Kerr like really hates Kuminga, like hates you, like send you to the locker room, hate you. There's this thing with Spo where he sees it in him. And every time Spo, and we talked about it last night,
hope
last
so,
minutes.
man.
Like, Kellel responds on the floor. Yes, he got scored on. Vucevic only 4 buckets tonight. 3.5 of them were on Kellel. Okay, I'll give you that. But like effort-wise, like just
he was
getting
there
after it. Yeah, like even one of the only people to front Vucevic in the first half was Pelle Ware fighting around it. So I mean, when he calls him out, when he plays him a little less, and I tweeted it, whether the message loud or quiet, Kellel tends to respond, which is why I don't have a problem with that approach. Because as you said, Lou, that was his thing out of Oregon, out of Indiana. The guy's a little lazier than he should be for giving his talent and ability.
He needs motivation. You see, when we play San Antonio, G, not to cut you off, we see his effort level through the roof. As soon as he sees Victor Wembanyama on the floor, Kellel turns into an all-star dance. Like
the guy that's wanted to be when he cussed him out in the postgame.
The problem is the consistency with him, and we've seen it. Like we saw it in Summer League. Like Spo called his ass out in Summer League. Like it wasn't even game 2, and Spo was already talking about, I don't know if that's the guy. He's like, you're supposed to set an example, and instead he was getting bullied. Like that's, I don't know. I don't know.
He had 4 rebounds today, which I think one of the big things with his production was how high his defensive rebounding rate got. And that to me is a little, I know he only played 12 minutes tonight, and it's, I think that's something that directly relates to effort. And I don't view him like Hassan, that is like this really strong guy that can rebound through traffic with just arms up. I think it's like, obviously it's a team effort. And listen, they got out rebounded by 3. That's negligible. And the possession battle was what Chicago had 94 field goal attempts. Miami had 93. So, pretty even, negligible kind of difference, although it was a one basket game. But, those are
And
kind of
those are Ayo Dosunmu attempts in the fourth quarter.
But to kind of going back to the original point was the zone with Nico and Bam. Don't hate it. I like Bam in a zone. I think Bam's really good at it. And I think there's interesting things, Jason. So they used to do the zone with a lot of their wings up top. So like Caleb Martin or, Jay Crowder or, those Iguodala, like they like to put ball pressure at the top of the wing. And then they had the guards help, and even or PJ Tucker at the top of the wing, right? And then like your backside is guards like Kyle Lowry, like real physical guys who can kind of come in and take charges and make plays. Now it's changed, and now Bam's kind of hanging back in the middle of the zone, kind of at the end by the basket. And now they're putting Nico at the top to put ball pressure to use his length. And I think that makes a lot of sense to me, and I really like that. And again, it was something that I hadn't seen. Shaban last night talked about another defensive wrinkle with their zone. So I think they're tinkering. They're tinkering with their defense, which is funny because I wouldn't have thought that their defense needs work. But I wonder if they're looking to configure their offensive lineups a little better, especially taking advantage with all the injuries to see what they can get off the floor. So that's kind of, I just wanted to mention that because I think certainly it was different enough, especially because they were putting Bam in the zone and to captain the zone, that I thought that's pretty notable. Yeah. Lou, I don't know if you had anything to add.
No, yeah. I mean, they played Bam in zone today. They've been playing a little bit more zone. Bam's good in every coverage. That's kind of his superpower. Defensively, he's just very stout. It didn't really matter what they did. I don't think, the Bulls necessarily had the amount of shooting. So I think the zone made a little bit more sense today. Especially with Kobe White not being able to, hit his shots today. Like that was kind of a big deal. But all in all, the zone's fine. It's always something Spo has in his back pocket. Plus, we're going to be playing like 4 games in 5 days. So I think this is a way to not have guys like exert as much energy, especially, Bam and Kalel, because you're Bam, Kalel, Nico are like your only 2 bigs, 2.5 bigs maybe. So it's a way for them to save energy and save face, but it's cool with me. I mean, they won today, barely.
We see that more, I would say, in that lineup that Spo wants to, that he's going to a lot in the last 2 games. That I think it's Drew Smith, Fontecchio, Bam, Nico, and Jaquez. Yeah. So I think we're seeing it a lot more in that lineup.
Fontecchio was playing very inspired this month. Had a big old 0 today.
Yeah.
0 for 4 from 3.
Plus 13.
Hey, man, he used it all last night.
Yeah, he did.
I can't stand the Bellissimo. Kind of going through before we get to some bigger picture stuff, but Giancarlo played 12 minutes tonight. Drew Smith 22. Jason, that's a number we watch every night. If Drew Smith plays more minutes than Casper Giancarlo.
Has he been starting, KJ?
Yeah.
In general, like I know he started tonight, obviously, but has that been a thing for a while?
You must have loved him. I mean, are you an Illinois fan?
I went to Illinois, so yes.
Oh, okay. There you go.
He
was one of the most frustrating players I've ever seen.
Oh, this is actually really interesting. I didn't know you went to Illinois, so
yeah.
That's,
I mean,
what did you make of him in college?
He started last year like so amazing. Like I was calling him like baby Luca. Like because he had like a sick game like at Oregon where he just like was just like dominating on the road, and the Illinois blew the doors off them. And then like the back half of the year, like he was still obviously very good, but like his turnovers were. He would commit some of the dumbest turnovers I've ever seen in my life. I mean, it was just very frustrating. So obviously, super talented player. Like, I mean, he was talked about as a possible top 10 pick, and he fell to Miami. And I think just like the turnovers and just like athleticism questions, some questions just with his offense, how that would translate. And now, today, that's like the Keith Bogans back when the Bulls would start Bogans on like the 2010, 2011 team, and Bogans would start each game or each half and play like 6 or 7 minutes, and he'd play like 15 minutes a game. That's basically what happened.
That's what's been happening.
That's what's been happening. Oh yeah, the honorary Bogans is Casper Giancarlo right now. So yeah. I mean, it was an interesting year at Illinois last year, to say the least, with him.
Yeah.
And that was the thing coming out of college with him. I mean, it was the turnovers, obviously, and a lot of people suspected that's why he failed. And they questioned would he be able to handle that pressure on this level. But then secondly, and it might have something to do with the athleticism you talked about. I saw a lot where people were wondering, could he guard on this level? And I've been pleasantly surprised by the way he fights on that end. But that's probably also why he had, 4 to 10 fouls in his 12 minutes of action.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, no, I was gonna say defensively. At least, I mean,
I like him defensively.
we got Jason here. He can tell you. But from like I think I saw like 15 games from him in Illinois. Like, I didn't think his defense was necessarily a problem. I didn't think it was going to be. Yeah, I didn't think it was going to be this good. I will say, I don't know who the Illinois coach is. Give that man some damn credit because he can coach up some defense. Like the ball screen actions between him, Boswell, Will Riley last year, like they were getting into guys. Maybe not Will Riley as much, but Boswell for sure, and obviously Kaz, just in general. But I mean, he's he fell to the Heat. That's who I would have taken, probably him or Jason Richardson, but whatever, Jace Richardson. But we're here, guys.
Small two guard.
You're such a degenerate. How much Illinois basketball are you watching?
Me?
He did name drop 3 guys that I was like,
fuck, Jason, you must have been a little. Jason, you were a little impressed.
Will Riley, first round pick as well, and then
Will Riley, Boswell. That's gonna be the Heat's 2-way guy next year. Ivicic, now they got his brother too. The other Ivicic, they got the Twin Towers over there. Hey, I do my scouting, guys, firsthand. But regardless,
Wagler, man, 46 points at Purdue this past weekend.
I'm just getting it. He's literally the next guy on my list. So, but I try not to get hyped because fucking Jason, he wasn't here. I apologize. If we would have just lost to you guys, we would have had fucking Cooper Flag, right? This could have been so easy. I could have been having a great year. And I mean, you watch them. There's quite a decent gap between Kasparis and Cooper Flag.
Yes, there is. Just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
40 points through 3 quarters tonight, by the way.
Only.
Jason,
I don't think Kasparis has scored 40 this month.
No, I don't think so.
I don't think he has. No, I don't think he has.
I don't think so.
Somebody do the research. Chat. Somebody do the research. One more thing on KJ before we get out of here, Jason. I said the other day that I think he might be the best pure point guard that has played for the Heat. And I say that mostly because Dragic is kind of a score-first guy, and I view Hardaway the same way. And I think Miami hasn't had – I don't think it's been a point guard-rich franchise. So it's a bit of a low bar, but I see a lot of creativity in this game. I see a lot of ball skill. I think the shooting is better than I thought it would be. I've always worried about college guys coming into the league, especially guards, having the shot right away. But the shot has looked good. The defense has been better than I thought. And the creativity off the drive, he has some ambition in his passing, which kind of makes sense.
That's why I called him Baby Luka last year when he was killing it, because he was a sick passer and playmaker.
I see the creativity, and I see that he looks to pass and he looks to create, and I like him in pick and roll, Jason. Do you think that, am I overselling what he could be? Somebody who went to Illinois, who watched him play, who obviously has covered basketball a long time. Am I off base?
I mean, like I said, he looked so good. I mean, he was getting top 10 hype, even borderline top 5, I think, at the beginning of the year. Just again, he fell off. He did have some weird health stuff going on, like the whole team did, that I think impacted him. Again, if he can get the shot up a little better, don't cut out the stupid turnovers. Is he ever going to be an all-star? I'd be pretty surprised about that, but he can definitely be, again, another glue guy type, and again with a little verve in his game with his passing and stuff like that. Could definitely be a good player. Just got to fix some of those issues that we saw at Illinois.
So Lou, what was going on with Illinois' basketball team health-wise last year? What happened?
I mean, I don't know what happened with the whole team. I know he had 2 injuries.
They had mono going around, actually.
I was just about to say, that sounds like mono.
Yeah.
The whole team sounds like mono. Just saying.
I don't know.
Or COVID.
All I know is that every single game I tuned into was like, oh, this guy was questionable prior to the game due to some illness. I was like, dude, what's going on in Chicago? They got a pandemic over there. It was always him and Will Riley too. It was when you would tune in to watch the guys who were projected to be drafted, they're always sick.
So you mean the stars, the guys that are getting all the attention?
Nah.
I'm joking, man. I'm joking.
Trey White was pretty cool too.
So I one of the reasons why we have Jason here today is not only to talk about tonight's game, but I wanted to talk to Jason about the Derrick Rose jersey retirement, and I had some takes on that. Before we get to that, I want to I think we have to do our favorite Prize Picks read. Now remember, kids, Prize Picks promo code HeatBeat. Use promo code HeatBeat and get $50 in lineups. Play your first $5 lineups. Now, something I thought was fun today. PrizePicks had Bam as a popular goblin. There's slander. Even PrizePicks is slandering Bam, which I thought was funny. Which, by the way, Bam hit more than 14.5 points today. So shout out to Bam for not being the goblin. But I did think that was funny that even Bam can't escape slander from PrizePicks. So pretty funny on that. I could not. So yesterday we talked about this. What we wanted to do was do a segment where we play PrizePicks and see if Drew Smith has fewer or more minutes than Casper's. Those guys don't play enough to play PrizePicks on them. So that idea is out the window. So we're taking suggestions on the Miami Heat Beat investment fund for PrizePicks. But I did think the Bam thing was funny. So remember, download the PrizePicks apps today and use promo code HeatBeat to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code HeatBeat to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. PrizePicks, it's good to be right. And it's not just basketball. You can do other stuff. Listen, yesterday was a big day for playing with the Champions League and all the craziness that happened. Lord knows I did. So remember, promo code HeatBeat and support us. Have some fun. Jason, I know that you did not expect to do a PrizePicks read into an important conversation that we're about to have, but let's listen. That's sports podcasting in 2026. Derrick Rose gets his jersey retired, and Derrick Rose famously won the MVP. Apparently was competing with LeBron for 6 to 8 years, according to Reggie Miller. I don't even know if it was 6 to 8 months, but we'll take it. Jason, obviously Derrick Rose is a really important figure for the city of Chicago. He's a Chicago guy, played for the Bulls, obviously was very successful. Chicago, multiple 1 seeds, conference finals against the Heat. They're during a very fun time in the NBA where there was a clear villain and the Bulls were one of the teams like trying to take down this newly formed super team. And it was, honestly like a really fun time in the league. And, he got his jersey retired, and I was made a little uncomfortable, not by the jersey retirement, because I think he's earned that as a basketball player, but more the pageantry around Derrick Rose. And Derrick Rose had a pretty famous rape trial, and he, the jury found him not guilty. But I don't know. I have my opinions on that. I followed that trial very closely. Derrick Rose kind of admitted to not knowing what consent was, and there's a lot, and the jurors took pictures with the then Nick Derrick Rose. And there was a lot of things about that I left uncomfortable. And not that I'm saying the Bulls shouldn't have retired his jersey. I'm not saying that. He's found not guilty. Say whatever you want. I mean, as a basketball player, he's earned that. But really the pageantry from media, from players, and from fans made me uncomfortable. So I wanted to ask somebody from Chicago how the city views him. I don't want to put you on the spot and ask you what you feel, but like how the city feels about that, and if there's any kind of confliction with that.
I mean, I feel like I mean it definitely is part of how we should be remembered. I mean, you look at like the Kobe stuff, all right, rest in peace. But like there was his whole thing too. So like, it should be talked about. You can't just brush it aside. Like me and Ricky talked about it in our pod last that we did earlier this week, and I asked him like, what was your favorite moment of the ceremony? And he was even like, I didn't really like engage with that much of it because he was conflicted as well, and like I totally get it. Like I think overall, like I mean, I can't remember what year that all that happened. It does seem like most people have like moved on, and like the city again, the pageantry you talked about, like the organization has milked the hell out of this. I was at the game last year where they like first honored him. They this year was the jersey retirement. They had whole night last year too, where there was a whole halftime ceremony where he talked and like honored him too. So I mean I think they've had like multiple like other like kind of like D Rose nights. Like that's what the Bulls do these days because the franchise is a joke. So they just milk the nostalgia. And you have all these D Rose nights, and you bring back Tibbs and Joakim Noah and Luol Deng and Taj Gibson and like all these guys that everyone loves. So yeah, I mean, it definitely is. I mean, I think kind of conflicting. Like I said, I think in general, the city. I mean, since Derrick Rose is born, raised Chicago guy. I mean, just like growing up with him and those teams you mentioned with. I mean, the Bulls like Heat rivalry, if you want to call it that, for like a couple of years, like. I mean, that was like the most fun I've ever had watching Bulls basketball. I was super young during the Jordan years. So like while I watched it, like I didn't totally appreciate it. So like watching D Rose like was just so huge because like the first like superstar player since Jordan that the Bulls had, and from being from Chicago and like doing what he did, like obviously it just meant so much to the city. And I mean, he clearly still does. Again, you can't just wash away the stuff with the rape case because like you mentioned, yeah, I mean, there's some like really nasty stuff that came out of that. And it was like, he was found not guilty, but like you read some of it and like the consent
it's
thing,
the stuff he said,
some of the comments about it, just like, yeah, we're so like callous and like, just like came across so poorly. So like, I mean, we don't know what happened. Like I'm not going to pass final judgment on it. We weren't there. He was not guilty, but like, it is something that was there. It happened. You see what happened. If you read through and you see the stuff he said, like, it is absolutely, there's some discomfort there. Yeah, there's some uncomfortable stuff when he's getting just lauded as like this great guy and all this stuff and this whatever, like representing the city. Like, yeah, some of that is abstract. And I do think like that he has, and he does do a lot of good stuff for the city. Like, I'm not going to call him like a bad guy. Like, clearly, I think there were mistakes made, and like that. That part is a stain on his legacy for sure, like 100%. But I mean, at this point, again, yeah, I mean, the city loves him. Like, I will always appreciate like what he gave to the Bulls, and it's very unfortunate how things went in terms of like the jersey retirement. Like, I know some people argued, like, I mean, or debated, like, should he get his jersey retired? He had a couple great seasons. Like, if he wasn't,
they were arguing the basketball.
Yeah, I think some people are like, he only had a couple good years, but like if he wasn't from Chicago, like I do wonder if he would have gotten his jersey retired, even though he was the youngest MVP ever. But like he only had 4 or 5. Like,
how many jerseys are retired?
It's not many, and I do think like me and Ricky were talking about this too. Like I do think like for like team jersey retirements, like it's not the Hall of Fame. Like you should probably be a little more lenient, liberal there. Like it's only MJ, Scottie Pippen, I think Bob Love and Jerry Sloan. So I think Derrick is only like the 5th guy, so like they've been pretty stingy about it. So like I said, if Derrick wasn't from Chicago, I do not know if they would have retired his jersey, but given just what he meant to the franchise, being from Chicago, and he was the youngest MVP ever, like, I mean, I'm totally fine with it. Like, again, he was my favorite player growing up, and it was awesome watching him play, and it's so unfortunate what happened, but I totally understand, like, it just being uncomfortable when, again, especially with all like you said, the pageantry, like that stuff is all like washed away at this point. Like,
and that's what it was to me. It was like
the whitewashing,
the sports washing, the sports washing of like, you know, his, you know, what he did through his excellence, and he was excellent, and I think I felt bad for Bulls fans because, and I had some people in my mentions because I tweeted, and half the people were telling me to kill myself, and the other half of people were saying, I'm a Bulls fan and I feel so conflicted because it's like, how do you separate how good that guy made me feel as a sports hero versus what he did? And I understand, I feel bad. Like I would hate that if that was Dwayne Wade. You know, I'd hate that if it was, you know, a player that I like, Kyle Lowry, like whoever I love as an athlete, Roger Federer, like all these people. It feels horrible.
Yeah, I mean, like when that stuff came out, like it was like a gut punch because like you grew up with this guy who was like a hero for you, and it's like, oh my god. And again, you read through like, well, the case and stuff like that, and it's like, oh, like it just makes you feel sick.
This is the most sports talk thing we've ever done. Is just two white guys talking about, you know, 2 white men talking about a woman in black issue. You're supposed to laugh. Come on, that was funny.
I can't laugh during this segment. What am I?
K's here. You can laugh. K's here. K's here. We can
monster.
Hey, you can laugh. K's here. Chat said they're waiting for Luol Deng Day. For the Heat or the Bulls, either one. I'm down to
Shit.
retire Uncle Lou's jersey.
Oh God, I forgot Luol Deng was with the Heat.
That's
He was
That's not just-
amazing until he wasn't.
it was the most important signing in Heat history, according to Pat Riley.
Oh,
He
God.
literally said that.
Yeah.
I mean, Luol Deng is a great human. He was a great bull. Shout out to Luol Deng. He did also. Luol also called, which also could make it. When Ricky brought this up too, could kind of make it uncomfortable. He was like, D Rose's jersey getting retired was like our championship, and it was like, was it though? Like that was kind of tough.
And
hearing
they
that,
lost, right?
Like, they did. They lost to the Heat in the Eastern Conference Finals.
No, I meant the jersey
Oh.
retirement.
Wait, say that again.
The jersey retirement, they lost, right? They lost to the Lakers.
Oh no, they beat the Celtics. Kevin
They beat the
Huerter,
Celtics.
game-winning 3-point.
Oh, that's
Again.
right. It was Kevin Huerter. It was Kevin Huerter.
He did.
No, yeah, they
he
won.
did
Yeah,
the-
that was the Celtics
Sadly.
had played like double overtime the night before, so that was like a schedule
We
win. and-
take those.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
the Bulls pulled it out with a Kevin Huerter 3-pointer with like 0.2 seconds left. They got smoked by the Lakers a couple nights
That's
later.
what it
Luka
was, yeah,
put
they got-
46 on him.
They got Luca.
Ah.
Yeah.
Only-
Who's is he hurt? Is that serious? The
Luka?
Cavs got to do something about that.
Yeah, the court. He was
Oh, that's
pissed.
terrible. bro.
That
That's
got Drew
terrible.
Smith last year.
Who got hurt? I'm sorry.
Luka got hurt.
Luka got
Yeah,
hurt
last night.
night.
He fell like was the court is raised or whatever, and he like
Mhm.
fell down into it. I think he
Yeah,
came back.
that-
I think he's okay.
You know,
as far as I know, but
That stupid NCAA tournament court, man. I hate it.
It's what happened to Drew Smith, Lou.
as somebody who worked at the arena, every court is raised. I mean, the one at the Heat Arena was raised, but the chairs are just up against the corner of the court, and it's supposed to be tied up. Because I would tell you, because I used to put the goddamn court down, so I know how it goes.
Lou's like, I was tying them chairs.
No, I was putting the court. That shit is heavy.
Oh, you were putting the court.
Yes,
I didn't even know that. I know you were. I didn't even know that. That's hard labor.
Hey, man.
Wait, so
Lou's
you could have
inside
given
man.
us. You could have given us insight to the condensation that was happening in Chicago.
Do you
What if-
guys play in an ice hockey arena?
yeah, Blackhawks
Yes.
play.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah,
my
it's
fucking
there.
god, the worst. When Disney on Ice used to come, we used to have to put fans on the court all the time because we get condensation calls. Fuck Disney on Ice. I mean, I'm
There's-
sorry.
the UC definitely has. I think I've seen Disney on Ice when I was a kid at the United Center, but
Jesus.
I don't know how that happened with that game. Like with the kind of, it was like unseasonably warm. It was like 50
Right.
degrees in January
And
or
raining,
December,
right? It
whatever
was pouring.
Mhm.
Yeah, and raining. So yeah, so there was all this, and then they spent
It's
like
why
2
in
hours.
soda
Like,
sweats, guys. Like if it's cold on the inside, warm on the outside, but then you have different atmospheric pressures. Like we could get into it
We can get
You want a
into
science
it.
lesson with
Okay.
Kate?
next time. Next time.
Next time. Stay
Who did
tuned.
they spent whatever like 2 or 3 hours trying to mop up that court. And I'm like, come on, guys, like get. I wanna
Jason,
be
after an
pumped
hour and a
and
half,
you're-
I was like,
please postpone this game. I'm gonna go do something
Oh,
else. in my
We know
life.
how long it took because we were all asking, "Gee, are we still going to do a?"
I wanted to watch Andor. I was like, I don't want to do this. I want to watch Andor. And I watch Andor. I did.
Yes, you did. You were
Way better
excited
use
as well.
worth of your
Oh my
time.
god! Wait,
than-
great show, by the way.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen Andor, and by the way, very timely. Everything that's happening right now in America, Andor's covered it. Andor has a take on everything that's happening
Really
right
does.
now.
Andor's great. Love it.
Andor's
Do we
awesome.
also have a Disney Plus sponsorship as well? What the hell's going
We
on?
should.
We got
Luther's-
Disney on Ice. We got Andor. What
Yeah,
else?
yeah.
Not,
that's
not
what I'm
up to what I
saying,
said.
Although
we
yeah,
lost
you're hating
Disney.
Disney.
This is
Disney on
true.
Ice, so
This is true.
We lost the spot. That's on me, G. I'll take that one. I'm sorry.
Eric
You
Spoelstra's
expect
gonna
a nasty email from ABC in the morning, G.
listen. Disney doesn't fucking play.
Yeah.
If we do a parody of Luthen's speech in the elevator shaft, we would get DMCA'd so fast. What did I give up? Eric Spoelstra, Killel Ware. What did I give up? Everything. Watch
That's
Andor.
pretty good.
Thank you. I love Luthen. Luthen's my favorite Star Wars character of all time. Shout out to Jason. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me again.
Where can people find your great work?
Let's see. Cash considerations. Well, I mentioned my co-host Ricky O'Donnell. We had a pod up earlier this week. We'll probably talk about the trade deadline. I'm curious to see if the Heat get Giannis. Because then
Me
we'll
too.
maybe have a Bulls Heat Giannis playing game, or maybe
Ah!
or maybe maybe if they get. I mean, he'll be out for God knows how long. Who knows when he's going to come back from this calf
Okay.
injury. But anyways, yes. Cash considerations, the Chicago Bulls podcast with me and Ricky O'Donnell. You can follow me. I don't tweet that much anymore, but I'm at Bulls_J. I'll respond to stuff. I'll throw the podcast out there. I'll post more at Blue Sky. I'm also Bulls J there. And then clutchpoints.com. I don't actually really write there, but I pretty much run the site. So we do a lot of NBA coverage. My guy Brett Siegel does NBA reporting there, and he's got plenty of reporting on Giannis and the Heat and all this other stuff too. So go check it out. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it.
Just one of the best people in the industry. Very thankful. He's a friend and makes time for us always. Jason, thank you so much. Welcome back, Lou.
Thank you.
Good to see you, Kay.
They almost traded me for cash consideration.
No, I would never do that. I would never trade you, buddy. I would never trade the Illinois basketball junkie.
Oh, okay.
Hey man, look,
I heard that before.
He knows it all.
He knows it all.
We go be.
We will be back on Saturday for more Heat Bulls because that's what people want. And guess what? We'll be here Sunday
again.
Monday.
We'll do it again. We
And
are
Monday
going
and Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday and No, I'm just kidding.
Not one, not
Feels
two,
like
but
that, though.
not three.
It'd be
Not
great. Listen, this is gonna be great. We're gonna all get familiar with Dosunmu and Vucevic and all that. Appreciate
Unless they get traded. Maybe tomorrow night. Maybe we'll get a
That's
trade.
true.
Maybe Io has been on the trade talks.
They can't trade him now. They can't trade
They
him
got
now.
like
Jason.
12 expiring contracts too. So I definitely
they have a
expect there to be
million.
some
The Bulls
movement.
should be looking to make a bunch of trades. Whether it's, I would love Io to be on the team as an Illinois guy. Love Io. Obviously, I would love for him to be around forever. But maybe a team will give him like a first round pick or more, even more than that. And if they do that, you might have to think about trading him. But we'll see. AK is a schmuck. He probably won't actually do anything, but he should do something.
Talk about Pat Riley. Oh, I'm sorry.
What could you get for Patrick Williams right now? What do you think?
Literally nothing. you need to give something with Patrick
cash.
Williams.
You need to give 5% equity in the
Cash
Chicago Bulls.
considerations.
Yes, pretty.
Gotcha.
Yeah. You have to send along cash to give Patrick Williams somewhere else.
Right.
This guy. Want to thank our donors for today. Thank you, CM201, for the generosity as always, and our wonderful community here. And thank you to PrizePicks and Blue Wire. We'll see you tomorrow, Saturday. And again, thank you, everybody. And we'll, stay safe out there.